Orthodox churches smell good, that's for sure. Well, no, there are, like, Orthodox churches can be quite pretty. Like, I've been to a lot of these churches. They're quite beautiful. But when you're not grown up in that culture and you come into it, the motivations that tend to bring people to it are not always as simple as you think. Yeah, the incense is very nice. Do. You know, I think I might have already gotten to the. I can't have already gotten to all the topics I had. Have you seen Opie Starcy's breakdown of the Epstein FSB Russian links? I remember debating Andrew Wilson on the release of the Epstein files, and his conclusion was it must have been the Israelis, and that's why Trump is keeping it secret. And the idea of Trump keeping secret an Israeli
a Kurd is a Kurd
like, child raping intelligence operation to keep the Israelis happy was like the strong defense of what was going on. It was like the defense that made Trump look better. That was the moment I realized there was no winning for anyone defending Trump on Epstein. That the only hope was quite literally people would just stop fucking talking about it. Because I don't know how you go from we're gonna drain the swamp to I need to protect the swamp pedophiles for Israel. I don't even. By the way, I don't even think I believe the story that Jeffrey Epstein is a Mossad XYZ. I can believe that he's an intelligence asset, but I think us predicting exactly which intelligence agency he's working for, like it's just way beyond my pay grade. Look up the growth of the Russian Orthodox Church in Appalachia. Hey, look it up right now. Yeah, I mean, this seems to be saying what we talked about earlier. Like, they come to the Russian Orthodox Church because they want to come to a church that seeps with religious, strict moral tradition while also not wanting to be a Catholic. Yeah, it seems to be about the case. But I still, like, if you've been following this for like a year, the idea of you going and telling anybody how to live their life, my goodness. But Catholic Church has... Well, you have to understand that a lot of these people don't like women. Fucking around, of course, but still, like, it's not... The motivations are a little more complex. I don't think these particular people take their religion that seriously. I think they wear it like a counterculture. Some do. Some of it really is as deep as aesthetics. They don't feel it the same way as having it instilled in you from a young age. Yeah, but the vigor of the convert, like the religiosity of the convert, has been discussed before. It's one thing to be taught something from a young age. It's another thing to come to something. Sometimes when I have debates with people about like immigration into the United States, something I always try to get across is Depending on the circumstances that motivate somebody to come to the United States, I could see somebody who made the decision to come to America having more American values than the person who was born and raised here. That's not to say that that's inherent or that's like a outline, but that's to say that if somebody chooses to cross the Atlantic to enter the United States based on wanting to be part of our model, that's different than being born and raised here and not necessarily even signing up for like the values or, you know, the traditions of the country. So yeah, there is something to be said about somebody that way so they believe it, but also religiosity of the convert. Hold on. Converts come in two forms: extremely devoted and complete larper. Sometimes someone is very somebody who just last year got the football team comes to me and tells me he needs to stop their boorish ways. So he's a different man every 3 to 6 months or something. This is so the hypocrisy will make it impossible, even if I wanted to. Okay, is there anything else you guys wanted me to cover today? Have any stories you wanted to cover? think that was true for a lot of serious organization gives them allows them to prosper. What did you think about this? Damn it. I mean, what, isn't it like a public service? Don't British taxpayers pay for this? Well, I understand I'm not a British taxpayer, so maybe I should. That's crazy to me. The paywall is in the last month or two. Somebody who's supposed to pay like $14 all this paywall. Russia loses bases in Ukraine, rise fast. It's not that Putin is particularly at a rate that stops. One those men every month. Faster than any time since the full-scale invasion. As U.S. President Donald Trump's administration, 40% more obituaries of soldiers. Overall, the BBC has confirmed the names of about 100 Russia's side. On BBC, independent outlet media and a group of volunteers since February of 22. Deaths we were able to confirm using official reports, newspaper, social media, and new memorials and graves. The real death consulted believe
Fuck me.
45 to 65% of the total, meaning possibly less than half. The number of Russian deaths at between 243,000 and 352,000 men. When they say deaths, they don't mean casualties. If you have a death, you're typically going to have 2 to 3 casualties. The number of obituaries for any probably well over. For any given period, some will eventually be discovered, but it can indicate how intensely exceeds the graph over time. The BBC can see 2025, and if trends continue. Then the number rises. early 2026, the first. But it's not just the expansion of airstrikes, missile strikes, drone strikes that has expanded the general casualties along the front line has also increased. So the intensity of infantry assaults, drone strikes, missile strikes, on most fronts of the war, you can see an intensification of offensive action outside of probably the Black Sea. The next peak in August coincides with the two presidents meeting with each other in Alaska, a diplomatic coup for Putin that was widely seen as an end to his international isolation.
Black-pilled Kiwi has donated $40. Happy New Year and thanks for your coverage of world events. Hope this is used for something other than filet-o-fish, but I guess you deserve some treats. Best of luck out.
Oh God, now I want a filet of fish, actually. Oh, you bastard. You absolute rat. You did this to me. You did this to me. I do want a filet of fish now. Thank you for the $40. I will use it to pay staff. A little bit more important. Filet of fish. A little bit more important. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Black Belt. Where were we? In October, when planned second the Russian-U.S. summit was eventually shelved, and then in November, when the U.S. presented a 28-point peace proposal, an average of 322 obituaries were published per day, twice the average in 2024. It is difficult to put increased Russian losses down to any one factor, but the Kremlin sees territorial gains as a way of influencing negotiations with the U.S. in its favor. Putin aide Yuri Yushchenkov stressed recently that recent successes had a positive impact. Here's the thing. This is because that's the framing that the administration has so far accepted. But the administration has also shown itself sensitive to looking at personnel losses. And if personnel losses increase to an unsustainable amount, your ability to hold any territory any day of the week might not matter if you cannot prove to the negotiating parties at the table that you will be able to sustain that hold going into the years to come. Murat Mushagayev was among those who gambled on a quick peace deal, and it cost him his life. Mushagayev was an activist who had never supported Putin's policies. Over the year, he had taken part in demonstrations against police violence and torture, and joined rallies for LGBT rights and the release of Alexei Navalny. He had then repeatedly condemned Russia's invasion on social media. Then in early March, he was detained near his home in Moscow and charged with large-scale drug dealing. While his case was being tried, he was offered a contract with the defense ministry